Hi Kiwi! Alright, we are back at a new series called Nano Apostle. Now this is a game I have played a fair bit of already, but I really liked it and I wanted to share it with you while I'm kind of taking this little hiatus from the Pokemon Shining Pearl playthrough. I do intend to go back to that series and likely will probably after I finish Nano Apostle. I may toss in a couple other episodes here or there or kind of like alternate with Pokemon, but for now, this is what we're going to do today. I am going to casually voice act like usual in this one, but I hope you enjoy. Gameplay wise, this is absolutely my cup of tea. It is a kind of 2D pixel art, parry focused real-time combat sort of game with a little bit of story. The story is interesting, doesn't perfectly hold up for me, but I think it's pretty solid. And the music in this game, wait till you hear some of the boss fight music, Kiwi. It's great. Anyway, Lena, you've got to stay strong. I promise you I'd get you out of here. We don't really know much about these characters yet. Don't worry too much about that. We'll learn more about them soon enough. I will get you out of here. There are only a couple characters in here. Now, fun little fact, keep an eye on these little silhouettes next to us in these containment units, if you will. They will they will become relevant later, let's say. This is definitely shadow foreshadowing, if you will. Anyway, so like I said, I'm going to toss in some casual voice acting here or there, and we'll see where it takes us. I hope you enjoy, Kiwi.
Where am I?
It is a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for serving as my host. I am a semi-autonomous combat nanoprosthetic known as Apostle. From this day forth, I will be assisting you with your operations.
Hello, Mr. Apostle. Where am I? I can't seem to remember anything.
This is Pioneer's Level 6 Biochemical Weapons Lab. We are currently being contained in a cultivation chamber, and exist within the chamber's computer as conscious entities.
I don't really know what that means, but thanks for the explanation, Mr. Opossum. I'm so sorry. My brain's a mess. I'm having trouble remembering your name. Can I call you Kuro?
Nickname entry updated. Kuro, you may use this name to address me.
Thanks, Kuro. That'll make it a lot easier to remember.
I know it's pixel art, but there's something timeless about pixel art. It can look clunky at times, and I can say that the little girl's model is a little hard to follow, but at the same time, you can tell what she's doing, and it conveys the message pretty clearly. And it will definitely convey the combat messages plenty clearly.
Wait, why is this floor glowing?
A wake-up process from an external input has been detected. Preparing to execute the following program. Combat Adaptability Test 1.0. Program description. Arrange for the test.
Excuse me.
Arrange for the test subject to engage in combat with a low lethality machine to verify its functions are operating correctly.
So that voice is entirely from breathing in, and I'm so used to breathing out when I'm talking, yeah, which makes sense, right? That I'm not used to breath control, and I'll have to practice a little bit.
But Kuro, I don't know how to fight.
Referencing Article 27. During operations, the unit will establish a consciousness link with the host.
I also have to kind of figure out how to enunciate with that voice a little bit, because I'm not used to having this long a dialogue with it, I guess. I'm used to doing like single or like short sentences or just a couple words at a time. Good to know, though.
As long as there are no abnormalities in the host nervous system, this unit can partially control the host via physical reflexes. All the host is required to do is remain aware of their surroundings. I will handle the rest.
Okay, but I'm pretty scared, Kuro.
Appropriate constellation phrasing located. Hello, friend. Do not worry. Everything will be okay. Relax. Let's do this.
I think I'm even more scared now.
Feedback collected. Apologies. My database still has much room for improvement.
Alright, so we'll get a sense of how the gameplay works now, now that we made it through the... Oh, no, we got a little more cutscene. We got a second character here. I guess...
Is someone there? Jeez. I must have been imagining things. How long has that damn plan been on hold?
I want to try and differentiate these two characters' voices, but My vocal register for female voices is not amazing.
New containment record, huh? No way.
I'm trying to make hers a little softer and the little girl's a little more nasally, I suppose. Light attack. Press X to perform a light attack. The light attack is the most basic attack and can be used in various situations. So basically, there's going to be definitely a fair bit of mashing when it comes to combat, but the more nuance it gets, especially once you get your guard, the crazier things become very quickly. Shooting. Press and hold right trigger to aim, then release to shoot at a target. Shots require 1 energy, which is the value indicated below your character's HP. It'll be this little bar that fills up over here. Accumulate energy by landing light attacks on enemies. Hit enemies with the light attack to get energy for shooting. Alright, so we can charge up to 3 shots, and then we fire. Infect and absorb. Shooting an enemy will inflict them with 1 stack of infected, which is displayed as a little diamond above the enemy's HP bar. Landing light attacks will increase infection progress, and when the infected bar is full, attack the enemy to trigger absorb. Absorb deals massive damage and recovers some of your HP. So this is where one of the really cool mechanics of the combat system comes into play. As you've already seen, it takes a fair number of hits to get that infected underway, but once it pops, it does a pretty sizable amount of damage, especially as you scale later into the game. And here we go, the more important mechanic that I will be abusing like non-stop. Perfect parry melee attacks. When an enemy is performing a melee attack, press left bumper right before you hit to initiate a perfect parry. It'll take a little bit of getting used to, but you can weave it in between attacks, and it makes it like a very, very good defensive tool, which timing I need to work on a little bit. I'm used to speedrunning where things attack a lot faster than this. The issue here is that this guy attacks way slower than I'm used to because I've been trying to casually speedrun the game too. Destruction point. By meeting specific conditions, such as performing a perfect parry, the enemy's destruction point icon will appear along a highlighted icon. Attack the destruction point to deal massive damage and stun the enemy. So you can either shoot the destruction point or you can attack. Perfect parry projectiles. Right before you are hit by enemy projectiles, press left bumper to initiate a perfect parry, which reflects the attack. So this guy's gonna shoot, and I'm gonna time it poorly. There we go. Grappling hook. Hitting an enemy's destruction point will also cause the grappling hook icon to appear. Press right bumper to hook and perform a dash attack. And this is kind of the final piece that makes you do a ton of DPS very quickly in this game. You break the destruction point, and then you grappling hook. You do those consistently and get lots of infects off on enemies, and you're going to be DPSing like no tomorrow. Press A to use dodge, which causes the character to dash in the desired direction. While dash is underway, you will be temporarily invulnerable. Classic. Can I just... Oh, I didn't have to wait for the attacks. Fair enough. Warning, when an exclamation mark appears above the enemy's head, this means their attack cannot be parried. Use A to dodge the attack and avoid taking damage. In classical fashion for me, Kiwi, lasers are going to be a big pain in the butt, but they give you... This game is pretty good at telegraphing where attacks are coming, and as you learn the boss patterns, they become increasingly more easy. But speedrunning this game and no damage running this game are pretty difficult, honestly. Heal. Use Y to heal, which recovers the character's HP. The remaining number of heals is displayed on the top left corner. So, yeah, we have an ability to heal. We have a number of charges for this, and there will eventually be coming an upgrade that lets us sacrifice healing for the sake of increased damage, and that increased damage is no joke. Defeat your enemies by any means necessary. Delivering attacks when the enemy's destruction point is revealed is an effective way to deal damage. So basically, the basic idea is charge up attacks, dodge out of moves that are unavailable or unparryable, parry every other move where possible, or just focus on DPSing. Infect enemies when possible as well. I swear, I really do mean this. I'm just not used to having an enemy that attacks so slowly. But we've stunned them from the infection process. Bail out, get the damage in, keep DPSing, get a shot in, and we're basically finished here. There we go. Okay. Now I'm used to... I'm learning the attack pattern a little bit better, but that's kind of how the DPS works. It's going to feel fairly samey, but it feels so good to play well. Honestly, this game would follow pretty well into, I think, 9 Soul, because 9 Soul, to my understanding, is very parry-focused. And then also Sekiro, kind of a similar mentality. Anyway.
Error. Unplaced memory file identified A000A2. Loading. 35th day of the Siege of Balanak. March 22nd in the 362nd year.
Year of the code calendar. Bear with me. Oh gosh. Okay, I really do need to learn breath control on that.
Today's casualties were just as severe. Those metal bastards are tough as hell. I still can't figure out how Camera got hold of such advanced weaponry. At least we held our ground. Their sacrifices were not in vain.
So I'm doing the deeper, gravelly voice for Horace, and for Sif, I'm gonna do the kind of Professor Rowan voice, for lack of a better name for it.
Horace, what are you going to do when the war ends? My sister's still starving thanks to the siege. I just want to get her out, that's all. Understood. I lost my wife and kids to this insanity. I don't even know what I'm fighting for anymore. Sorry to hear that, Captain. It's fine. I've got to give it my all while I still can. I don't want any regrets.
I think I lost his voice a little bit there. Oh well.
No regrets.
Welcome-o! I love the little balloons. I don't understand. If she's an AI, why can't she spell welcome correctly? It's still really charming, though.
Oh my. It's awake. Welcome.
Party popper.
Wah!
Rule 1, protect the host. Unidentified entity may attack, initiating immediate elimination. Combat function module activated.
Please, no.
Unidentified entity. Explain your intention and purpose within 15 seconds. This unit will decide whether to eliminate you. Based on the assessment results, countdown begins now.
I'm so sorry for scaring you. I'm
9.
No, crap. I never know how to introduce myself.
5. Activating execution function. 4. 3.
Kuro, you're scaring the poor girl. Stop this nonsense immediately.
Man received. Extending elimination countdown and shutting off warning indicators.
Thank heavens. I'm so sorry. It's been so long since I've had someone to speak to. Hello. My name is Wenny. Nice to meet you. Hello, Wenny. My name is wait, what is my name?
We are Subject 89 of the Nano Apostle Project. We have yet to be assigned a name.
We're on the 89th iteration and they still haven't given it a name. Need a name. I need a name. Anita. How about Anita? Anita? Oh, I like that. Thanks, Wenny. Wonderful. Well then, it's nice to meet you, Anita. You too, Kuro.
Host name saved. Anita. Unidentified entity's name saved. Wenny.
Anita, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. After all, you just woke up. Is there anything you'd like to ask me? I've got years and years of data. I'm not sure if I can help with something. Yeah, I'm pretty confused, to be honest. I guess. Why am I here? Why do I have to fight these things? We're bioweapons developed by Pioneer. In order to gather data on their weapons, Pioneer arranges for us to fight the other bioweapons. The point is, we were made to fight. I know it's cruel, but you can count on Kuro to get through this, and I'll be here to help too. But why are you here, Wenny? Were you stuck in a cultivation chamber too? Me? It's pretty complicated. But the long and short of it is that I'm Subject 1 of the Nano Apostle Project. After facing numerous setbacks, my body and mind were utterly destroyed. I was contained in this cultivation chamber, waiting to be completely annihilated. But my consciousness unexpectedly synchronized with the chamber's computer, and my mind was imprisoned here. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up unpleasant memories. It's okay. That was a long time ago. Don't worry about me. To be honest, I've been pretty happy being here all alone. Yes, very happy. Wenny? It's nothing. Look, if you need any help, don't be afraid to ask. Anything at all. Okay, thank you, Wenny.
The evaluation of the conscious entity known as Wenny is complete. Due to its ability to provide us with information, it will not be eliminated, but still will be placed on an observation list.
Jeez.
Yeah, the issue with the Kuro voice that I'm doing right now is,
I could choose to do a voice like this, but it doesn't fit for me.
The issue is the voice lines are way too long, and I have to like deeply exhale because I'm using my full lung capacity just to breathe in to do that voice, and then I have to like exhale all of it. And it's so much easier when I'm doing all the other voices because it's natural. It's just how you normally talk. You talk and then you breathe in. And so this is going to be an interesting little bit of a training session for me, I suppose, for doing another voice that I haven't really gotten to do much on any other playthrough for that much. Anyway.
Before you returned, I took the liberty of browsing through some of Kuro's info. Based on his operating system, I created some expansion modules that should enhance its combat efficiency.
Scan results. No vulnerabilities or malware detected. Expansion module downloaded.
Expansion modules. You can enhance your combat prowess by equipping modules in the expansion module screen. Expansion modules can be obtained and unlocked through story progression. They must be purchased with skill points to be equipped. Skill points can be obtained by completing challenges. New skill module unlocked. All right, so we have got ourselves a couple. We don't have skill points, so we can't unlock these yet. So unfortunately, we'll have to wait on these. So all we're getting right now is Insta Booster. When using the grappling hook, light attack damage will increase 60%. Duration of the buff is based on dash distance and lasts in a max of 8 seconds. This actually is a pretty sizable damage up, as we'll find out later on.
Also, considering that Kuro might need to revisit previous battles to hone his combat skills, I've set up a training environment where all past encounters can be simulated for practice.
Intel updated. Training environment logged. Preparing to initialize configuration files.
During the combat training, achieving certain objectives can enhance Kuro's tactical algorithms. Do your best to increase his combat efficiency. I'll search the internet for suitable simulated training levels. While not all of them are focused on combat, each one can help speed up Kuro's development. Take on training challenges when you have the time.
Training environment. You can try to complete training levels in the training environment. Levels are unlocked through story progression, and skill points are awarded upon completing challenges. Training levels are divided into obstacle courses and enemy cluster elimination.
Wow, thanks, Wenny. Go on, Kuro.
Command received. Thank Wenny. Thank you. Phrase located. I, the nano prosthetic known as a puzzle, would like to thank you for your assistance, which has touched our hearts and helped us in immeasurable ways.
You're so polite, Kuro. No need to thank me. I think this may be pretty tough for Kuro.
All right, so I think just so we can get a full taste of what this game is about, let's do our first boss fight, and then we'll do these little side objectives afterwards.
I've downloaded information about your next opponent from the intranet. This time you'll be facing a combat unit designated specifically for frontline warfare. It's really big and may look intimidating, but if you carefully observe its behavior, it shouldn't be too hard to beat.
Intel updated. A combat strategy for the next battle has been formulated.
All right. So we've got little memory files, but let's do our first boss fight. Or actually, can I not fight it yet? I guess we read these logs first. Or am I? Oh, I remember now. Oh, I've messed up. So the way we access the bosses is down here. So I could have done that first. My mistake. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take on our new first boss, the A300 humanoid mech berserker. Now, as you can see right here, there are a list of challenges that we are invited to try and complete. Some of these we will complete, some of these we most certainly will not complete. But every challenge that we complete gives us an SP that we can then use to unlock modules down the road, which unlock further progression and potential damage. That said, let's go ahead and give this boss fight a try, and you can get a taste of what this game really has to offer. This isn't my favorite boss, and in terms of music, it's not the most outstanding either. The second boss really shines, though, in terms of music at least. But basically the idea is just mash attack, time your parries well, and then a destruction point gets exposed, and then you can toss in some extra damage with infected, and basically if you know the boss's patterns, they suddenly become very easy to deal with. Unfortunately, I've only been speedrunning against the first boss, so I'm only going to make this convincingly look like I know what I'm doing overall. Oh, I dashed into the laser. Like I said, I am convincing you that I know what I'm doing, right? Also, mind you, with the speedrun, I'm already done with the boss fight at this point, or just shy of it. I think the speedrun usually goes at, I usually clear this guy in the realm of, I couldn't get it in time. The speedrun of this usually ends within 45 seconds, pretty consistently for me. Unfortunately, it would appear that I have a significant lack of damage, which I am not used to, but that's fine. I trust that I can know his patterns well enough and still deal with him. At least we'll get him to done with phase 1, and then we'll go from there. Basically, these, like all of these sorts of games, learning your boss's patterns is the key to victory, and then well-timed dodge and DPS is the rest. We're gonna hit him with an infected as soon as possible. Actually 2, I think. Then we just want to focus on dodging these shockwaves. He does them in sets of 3. His axe flashes right before you need to parry. And then if you parry him, you get a destruction point exposed like usual that does a whole bunch of damage. Doesn't seem like speedruns of the like fresh file speedruns are really that common. Seems like people tend to favor the what's it called? The more New Game Plus, I would call it. Sort of. Look at all those fancy parrying though, Kiwi. Tossing some more infected. This will keep us alive. But I very much appreciate games that let you parry through your projectiles or through your while you're also attacking. But man, it is always very satisfying to get off good parries in any game. And this game makes it feel pretty rewarding. So that's the first boss, not the cleanest fight admittedly, but we did beat him in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which I do believe means we get a at least that challenge completed because it gave us a pretty short time. Anyway,
Target ready to be eliminated.
Stand in the white area and press RB to execute the enemy. So these are kind of unnecessary and you skip them in the cutscene, but they are rather gruesome executions of the final boss of each boss. In total, I believe there are 6 bosses, so at most there will probably be 6 episodes to this series, although I anticipate there will be less. But they are pretty darn gruesome, especially when you consider that these were probably humans at some point. But if that looks like your cup of tea, a game that focuses on kind of a button mashy sort of combat system with very good emphasis on parrying and then secondarily dodging, this game is very fun to optimize boss fights with, I have to say. It is very satisfying. There's also kind of a reward for grinding them out. As you can see, enter the boss's second phase 3 times, enter the boss's second phase 6 times. They don't expect you to beat the boss on the first try. I have game knowledge that has afforded me a easier fight. But
Error. Unplaced file identified. A00082. Loading. 42nd day of the Siege of Palanac. March 29th in the 362nd year of the Kote calendar.
How the hell did you do that? That metal bastard could withstand the firepower of a whole damn troop. And you never used more than one sniper round.
I don't know, hunter's intuition, I guess. Back when I was hunting, I could see something flowing through, like nodes in the prey's body. Shooting at them always seemed to take them down. Didn't expect it would work on these tin heads.
None of the other hunters have that ability, even the ones from your region. It's absolutely incredible. I'm just happy we're in the same platoon. We're definitely gonna...
wow, Mike, do you not understand how red flags work? Oh, buddy, you got vaporized. Poor horse.
No, Mike!
Oh god, that sounded so bad, Kiwi.
These things are resilient as hell. They won't stop until they breathe their last breath, if they're even alive. To ensure we won't suffer any more casualties after they're down, we gotta completely annihilate them.
Wenny, you're phasing a little bit out of existence there.
Anita!
Kuro says no hugs allowed.
Detected attempt to restrain or suppress the host. Countermeasures successfully implemented.
Wenny? I just wanted to say I'm glad I got you two back. I just wanted to say I'm glad you two got back safe. I just wanted to say I'm glad you two got back safe. Kuro, let Wenny go this instant.
Battle 1 complete. Result: victory. Combat efficiency 78%. Host status good.
Kuro's incredible. He protected me like 1,000,000 times.
Rule 1: protect the host.
Thanks, Kuro. That makes me feel real safe. Why do you look so weird?
Analyzing. The conscious entity Wenny is experiencing data loss caused by compiling packets suitable for network transmission protocols.
Oh, it must be because I've been going to the internet a lot recently. I just need to rest a bit, that's all. Look, we've got to focus. I've obtained information on our next opponent. It's a bioweapon that uses hover cannons for combat, specializing in dense projectile barrages. But I've got the perfect expansion module to deal with that. We just need to make some adjustments to Kuro's attack system. If his slash attacks can send out pulses of a certain frequency, he should be able to eliminate the enemy's enemy's projectiles.
New skill module unlocked. Pulse silo? I missed it. Oh, and we get to hold one more module, and we get one more heal.
Scan results. No vulnerabilities or malware detected. Expansion module downloaded.
I haven't visited the internet in years. It's super dangerous there. They might even mistake you for a virus. How terrifying. But I promised I'd help. Trust me, this'll be a piece of cake. Wenny, you need to be careful. If we came back one day and you weren't here, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Thanks, Anita. I'll do my best. Don't worry about me, okay?
The pixel art is simple, but it's very cute. You can tell the little expression on her face. It's simple but effective.
Okay. Pinky promise.
They seem... It's cute. They're cute together. Alright.
Anita still looks pretty upset. I wonder what'll cheer her up. Anita, do you want to play a video game? Video game? What's that? Video games are like a kind of software designed to help pass the time. They test your reaction time and award points based on how you play. They're so much fun. Interesting. Sounds interesting. Okay. Great. How about this one? This is Xanalyst, a two-player game that researchers secretly passed around 12 years ago. I happened to be on the internet back then, so I snagged a copy of it. The controls are simple, and the goal is to... I got it. Let's start.
They're a cute pair, and I very much appreciate the bond that they start to develop as the story progresses through this game.
Wow, we're just about even. You're really good at this. I've never played anything this fun before.
Analysis of Wenny's gaming abilities complete. Gaming history, 12 years. Skill level, F+.
Rude.
Evaluation, gaming history, and skill level do not match. It is possible that the individual suffers from an intellectual disability.
Kuro, what was that last part again?
It is possible that the individual suffers from a intellectual disability.
I didn't think you'd actually say it again. You want to try me, Kuro?
Command received. Play Xanalyst against Wenny. Combat algorithm adjustment complete. Reflex simulation adjustment complete. Combat execution initializing.
Oh god, this voice is rough. I might have to take a break from it.
Initializing ready.
Hopefully it at least sounds okay on the mic. Hear the frantic button mashing.
Result. Wenny achieved victory with a score difference of 3,842,350.
Even the AI I usually play with is better than you. You better practice, Kuro.
Combat analysis complete. Wenny's overall abilities have been re-evaluated. Combat algorithm optimized with a 23% increase in efficiency.
Skill points +2.
Jeez, looks like Wenny let me win. And I don't want to play anymore.
Oh. It never feels good when you know someone's holding back against you, but it's something I've learned to do, and then playing with handicaps makes it so that I don't have to hold back. Like, I guess in Smash, like if I start with like an 100% damage modifier against myself, makes the fights a lot more challenging.
Anita, how about another game? It's okay, that was fun, but I think it's a little too exciting for me. How about you, Kuro?
Negative. This unit's processor has overheated and must cool down.
Kuro, are you scared? Anyway, that really cheered me up. Thank you, Wenny. Me too. Let's play again sometime.
I hope the three of us can keep living like this. Why are you all about making red flags, game? Guys, you should know how this works. Did you not see what happened to Mike? I guess we do have to do the combat trials first. All right, so this will train us to be ready for our boss fights. We'll do the obstacle course first. I really like these actually. These are a lot of fun because they are fairly easy to complete, but they're a little bit tight on time if you take too many stray hits, for example. So basically we want to dash over these heat panels. You also, oh, I forgot to mention, when you die in this game, you make the sound of a sad dying puppy. Alright, so these obstacle courses are fairly self-explanatory. Dodge over things that are going to damage you if you stand on them, and basically spam dodge roll at all times, because like in a lot of games, dodge roll is a momentum or a speed boosting, or it travels faster than your base move speed does. In theory, I could dodge roll past that corner and get ahead of this wheel, but it's a little too risky and I don't want to accidentally die because of it. These, you basically parry the projectile and then grapple hook to them, which I find very I find the grappling hook, I mean, let's be honest, every game that has a grappling hook is immediately made better by having that grappling hook. There are a few games that the grappling hook is to their detriment. But basically there's a marker next to each of these little grappling posts that shows you how many times you'll have to parry to get the grappling point exposed. It's either 1 or it's 2, depending on the number of markers. These lasers are pretty scary. They don't one-shot us, but they may as well try to. Oh, I'm gonna get a hit here. Unfortunate. We'll just let those lasers come through. In theory, you can damage boost through these. And now comes the scary part, because we get double lasers, and you gotta move fast, and they want you to basically alternate the sides that you're dashing on. And now we also have to dodge lasers and wheels. Or maybe no lasers. Now this is just go as fast as possible, and then we should hit the clear, and perfect. We made it in under 1:30, so we get our highest rank possible in the challenge. And so all challenge levels and bosses will have this little thing here that each time you clear, you'll unlock some number of skill points associated with those marks. And that's how you can start affording skills in this SP thing, in our little module hub. So when dealing melee attack to a destruction point, deal 30 extra damage but get knocked back, or gain invincibility when using heal that and as well as 16% damage reduction that lasts for 25 seconds. Early on, that's probably more valuable than the extra damage, just so that we have a little bit more survivability. So I'll equip that. And then we have to do an enemy cluster elimination alpha. We need to clear this in under 3.5 minutes if we want to get the highest ranking. These are usually a little bit more tricky, especially early on when you don't have all of your modules available, but they are balanced so that you can, in theory, complete them right away. Because parrying makes a lot of these enemies get one-shot. For example, it exposes their destruction point more specifically, which is the equivalent of putting these guys within the range of being one-shot. They don't give you a lot of telegraph before they do their attack, but they do beep, they do flash, so there's a pretty clear telegraph overall. I would say if I'm comparing this game to Ruby Knight, which I quite liked, Ruby Knight's attacks were maybe a little bit more clearly telegraphed because of how they made enemies flash prior to launching their attack. But I would say overall, it's fairly consistent in terms of visual telegraphing. I just have to like train my brain while I'm also talking to respond accordingly. The parry also gets like refunded very quickly if you successfully parry another attack, because I think there's a little bit of a slowdown effect. Remembering to use my shot attacks where possible. And these rolling enemies do have a fairly dangerous attack where they charge at you, but on the other hand, if you successfully dodge them, their destruction point gets exposed after the fact. I'm gonna toss a heal in here. I need to top off my HP a little bit. I like to shoot the bigger HP enemies because they become a little bit easier to deal with, or if they're already down from the projectiles. Plus, these guys are fun to shoot because if you manage to parry one of their attacks, it'll probably finish them off afterwards. For example, like that. Again, we will be exposed to having much higher damage output down the road. There are checkpoints here, but these enemies are a little annoying because they cast shields on enemies, so I try to deal with them ASAP because you can't really. They're basically the void stones of Hades. Enemies that put shields on other enemies are always a pain in the butt. What can I say? But we're gonna deal a whole lot of damage here, just spamming parry to reflect, to put those enemies into one-shot range, and then killing these instantly. Lots of destruction points exposed. And then we just finish that guy off easy peasy. The lowest time possible is 3 minutes, 30 seconds, so I imagine we've still got a fair few number of chambers left. I don't specifically remember this chamber in particular. Almost died there. Lasers. Kiwi, we all know I have trouble with lasers. It's kind of been my one of my primary character traits for the longest time, if you want to call it a character trait, I guess. A little too early and then a little too slow on that. Oh, hello. On that parry was what I was going to say. It seems enemies, when you finish a chamber, do heal you a tad, which is quite nice. There are a lot of scary things potentially here. I'm going to focus on dodging things that'll kill me, and then DPS around the lasers. A little early on that parry, unfortunately. I'm trying to keep enemies clustered together where possible so I can deal as much damage as possible to their destruction points while also dealing AoE damage to them as well. I unfortunately missed a destruction point on that. This is very much a situation that rewards you for good parries. Gonna have to take the heal there, which is time lost, but not time completely lost, I suppose. I am getting hit by all of these lasers, it seems. Dash out of that. Managed to parry all of those, which felt great, by the way. I am out of heals, so I have to be mindful of that. I think the biggest issue I have with the projectile is it's a little bit hard to aim, seemingly. We've still got 45 seconds left, but we completed it, so we saved a whole like 45 minutes. I think, yeah, like I said, they're definitely easier to get the records with the modules that you upgrade to, but they're not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. But that is the training environment. Anyway, Kiwi, I think that's it for this episode. I think after all those gravelly voices, and especially Kuro's voice, I need to take a break and rest my throat a little bit. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. We're going to beat this game, and then we'll go back to Pokemon, so look forward to that.